Hello everyone. So in this lecture we will be discussing the properties of a group. So guys, let us begin with the properties of a group. Properties of a group. So first one, yes, theorem 1. This theorem says that means we can say that uniqueness of identity. That means we can say that in a group, yes, there is a unique identity element. So write down first one, we can say that that is known as uniqueness of identity element. So that is the first theorem, or we can say that first property. So we can say that that is in a group, let's say G, there is only one identity element. Okay. So what is the definition of, we can say that identity element? We can say that there must exist one element such that we can say that for every element belongs to the group G, we can say that let's say A star E must be equals to A only. Then we can say that where E is the identity element, isn't it? Okay. Next one, let us consider second theorem. Yes, second one is uniqueness of inverse. Uniqueness of inverse element. That means what? For every element A belongs to group G, yes, there exists, we can say that unique, yes, element, we can say that B, let's say, belongs to the same group G. Such that what is the condition? We can say that such that A star B must be equals to B star A, that is equals to E, where E is known as what? Identity element. Here we can say that inverse is unique for every element of the group, whereas we can say that yes, identity element is the unique for the entire group, isn't it? So be careful. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So let us consider, let's say we can say that if inverse of A, let's say that is B, then take inverse again on both sides. So we can say that inverse get cancel out. So we can say that here A equals to B inverse. That means we can say that B inverse is equals to A. So from this we can conclude that if inverse of any element is B, then the inverse of B will be the same element, that is A only. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So write down next theorem, third one. That is third one. Yes, that is known as Stokes-Hughes theorem. Stokes-Hughes theorem. This theorem says that for every element A comma B belongs to group G, A star B whole inverse is equals to B inverse star A inverse. That is known as what? We can say that Stokes-Hughes theorem, and that says that for every A comma B belongs to group G, A star B whole inverse is equals to B inverse star A inverse, isn't it? So here, what is the proof? We can say that, let's say, proof, let's say, yeah, we can say that simply this can be written like that also. AB whole inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse. In between A and B, there is nothing. That means by default, star means binary operation is there in between A and B. But simply sometimes we can say that it is written like that also. So by default, we can assume that in between there is a binary operation, that is star, isn't it? So that means what we can say that, let's say AB and let's say inverse of AB, that must be equals to E, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Now you only tell me, yes, we can write it like that. If we write it like that, B inverse A inverse, isn't it? That is equals to identity element. So we know group is what? Associative. So we can write it like that or not? Yes. Yes or no? Now we can say that B inverse becomes what? Identity element. And again this becomes A inverse, and A inverse is what? E, that is equals to right hand side. So from here we can conclude that inverse of AB is what? We can say that B inverse star A inverse, isn't it? Yes, this value we substituted here, and after that we can see that left hand side will be equals to right hand side. So that is the third theorem, we can say that, known as what? Stokes-Hughes theorem. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, so write down next one. Yes, next theorem, that is, we can say that, also known as cancellation law. So let us consider three elements for every A, B, C belongs to group G. If A star B is equals to A star C, implies, we can say that, yes, B equals to C, isn't it? So that means we can cancel out left one, isn't it? So in group we can say that if for every three elements, let's say A, B, C belongs to group G, if A star B is equals to A star C, then we can say that that implies B equals to C. So we can cancel out left one, that is A, so B equals to C, isn't it? And that is known as what? Left cancellation law. Left cancellation. Next one, similarly, let's say B star A is equals to C star A. That implies, we can say that, yes, B equals to what? C. Here we can cancel out right one also. And this law is known as what? Right cancellation, isn't it? Next one, we can say that cancellation laws holds good for a group, isn't it? Next one, fifth property we can write down. Yes, let's say, what is the fifth one? We can say that if A comma B are any two elements of a group, let's say G, then the system of, we can say that, equations, let's say equations are given to you, Ax equals to B and Ay equals to, let's say, B. Let's say this is equation 1, this is equation 2. Here A and B are the, we can say that, elements of the group, and X and Y are the variables of the equation. And we can say that, yes, we know very well inverse property satisfies in the inside any group. So we can take the inverse and we can find out the solution, and solution will be what? Unique only. So we can say that this system of equations will have unique solution, and that is given by, we can say that, x equals to what? A inverse B and y equals to A inverse B respective. Yes or no? So here inverse exists, so we can find out, and inverse is always, we can say that, unique for every element. So we can say that there will be a unique solution only, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. Next one, yes, we can say that sixth property, that is the left inverse of an element is also its right inverse. That means what? Let's say inverse of A is A inverse, that is equals to identity element. Similarly, we can say that now, yes, A inverse will be, yes, A inverse star A will also be equals to identity element. So we can say that left inverse will be equals to right inverse. That means we can say that, yes, for any element, if an inverse is exists, then it will be right as well as left. We can say that we can take the operation from left as well as right. There won't be any problem. Result will be only identity element. Isn't it? So these are all are the properties of a group only. Isn't it? So be careful. Also, one more property, double inverse, we can say that inverse of any element will be what? Same element. Okay. So let us take one example. Yes, well-known example. Let's say Cayley table, in which let's say, yes, these are the elements of the group. Let's say this is the group. Yes, if these are the we can say that arrangements, then we can say that yes, this is group. We are taking all the permutation, okay, of E A B C, nothing else. So this becomes B C E A. Yes, then this is C E A B. So I already discussed this one. This one is well known abelian group. Not only group, this is abelian group also. So here we can say that yes, you can identify here, yes, every row and every column has, yes, unique elements. There is no repetition. That's why inverse will be the unique only. You can check this one is associative as well as we can say that closed. Also, you can see identity element is also existing here. Identity element is what? E only. Yes or no? Identity element is what? E only. Now we can say that here all properties of the groups are satisfied. So we can say that here, as we can find out the inverse. Inverse of identity element is what? A, E only, same element. Inverse of A is what? C. We can say that A star C will be what? Identity element. So we can say that inverse of A is C. So yes, we can say that if inverse of A is C, then inverse of C will be what? A. You can check here. Yes, inverse of C is A because C star A is what? Identity element. Similarly, we can say that inverse of B is what? B only, nothing else. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So from here we can conclude that, or also we can conclude that if inverse of A is C, then inverse of C will be what? A only. Also, yes, inverse of A inverse will be what? Same element, nothing else. Next one you can see, yes, we seen one theorem that says that A star B, yes, whole inverse will be equals to B inverse star A inverse. Here you can check. Let us consider left hand side. Here A star B is what? We can say that that is C and inverse of C is what? A. So in LHS we will getting A. Yes, in the right hand side we can say that inverse of B is what? Inverse of B is B and inverse of A is C and B star C is what? We can say that that is A only. So you can, yes, you can verify. So we can say that Stokes-Hughes theorem. Yes, we can say that A star B whole inverse will be equals to B inverse star A inverse. I hope this one is clear to everyone, guys. Also, you can check here left inverse as well as right inverse. Let's say, yes, we can say that A star C is identity element. Then we can say that C star A will also be an identity element, isn't it? Yeah, so we can say that the inverse of A, right inverse is also C as well as the left inverse is also C for A. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So guys, that's all about we can say that the properties of the group. In the next lecture, we'll see a power of an element of a group and that is very, very important. Okay guys, so thank you so much.